and welcome to another FasTrax webinar. This is a weekly event that we run every Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. In case you would like to review any of our previous webinars, these can be found on our website, goftx.com. You can go to Lifeline, scroll down about halfway down the page, and choose Webinars. You can also find it by going straight to goftx.com/webinars. We send out weekly announcements letting you know what our webinar topic will be for the week, and you can sign up for those here by clicking the subscribe button. All you'll do is enter in your email address, and then each week you'll get an email update letting you know what we're going to go over for the week. My name is Briana, and this week we'll be going over the changes to the Altria Retail Scan Data Report requirements. So, first off, you may be asking yourself, what is a scan data report? The scan data report is a way for you to electronically submit your sales sales information to the major tobacco manufacturers in exchange for monetary compensation. Thanks to the FasTrax reporting, you don't have to manually create this information or pay a third-party provider to create the files for you. All of it's included in the FasTrax software package, and after the usual setup, it's just a click of a button for you to generate your previous week's data and submit to the manufacturer. So, the three major manufacturers that support the retail scan data programs are RJ Reynolds, Altria, and ITG. Today, our focus is going to be on the Altria program. So, next, you may be wondering, what data is actually sent? First, let's go. So, I went from Director to Reports, and we're going to go to the Retail Scan Data Incentive Report. We have a drop down here that shows you the three manufacturers I just mentioned. So RJ Reynolds, ITG, and Philip Morris / Altria. And again, today, this is what we're going to go over is Altria. So what is actually sent in the scan data information? In the last quarter of 2020, Altria had a few changes, and the new requirements for the data have some options now. So first, on the scan data report setting, you'll see this new box here for the on loyalty code. The loyalty codes are typically changed once or twice a year. If you're wondering about what your loyalty code should be, you should reach out to your Altria rep to get the most up-to-date code requirements. Up until last quarter, there were only three. So it was the Philip Morris Loyalty UPC code, the Skoll Loyalty UPC, and Copenhagen. Now there's a new one for On, also known as Helix, and this one also has its own loyalty code. So this code is populated automatically into the correct line for your scan data report for any loyalty transactions. In the most recent FasTrax update, this new field was added. If you do not happen to see this field in your director, please reach out to support and request an update. You can do that by calling 256-319-3470 and option 1, or you can email us at support@FasTraxPOS.com. So, what else is new? In 2020, Altria also added a few new fields that all tie into the same concept, which is identity verification. Basically, Altria wants to know if customers' ID was scanned. Typically, it's going to be a driver's license or a state-issued non-driver's license. Due to the nature of how military IDs and passports and such are made with their barcodes, we don't currently support the scanning of those forms in the POS system because they're coded differently. So again, for our purposes, what would be considered a scanned ID would be a driver's license or a non-driver, like a state-issued non-driver's license. So you might be asking, what is actually sent to Altria? You and your customers can rest assured knowing that while we do assign randomly generated ID numbers, which is a mix of letters and numbers, their actual ID number and other personal information is not sent to Altria. What is sent is a truncated version of the customer's loyalty number. It's only 6 digits, so privacy is still intact. The other new field is in reference to ID scanning, as I mentioned before. So this field you'll have one of the following. It's either going to have a scanned ID, which, again, like I said, it's going to be whenever they have the cashier ring up a sale that's age restricted, like a carton of cigarettes, for example. You scan their driver's license in the POS, and it will flag the transaction in the database as the indicator that it was a scanned ID. Again, it doesn't put any information in there. It just says this number means that I scanned their driver's license. The other option is going to be manual entry. So the manual entry is whenever you sell an age restricted item and you type in their birth date. Let's bring up an item. Oh, I don't have age verification turned on. So how do I do that? How to get to your age verification is you need to make sure that you have your POS flag set up. So you can easily turn that on by going to Director and go to Maintenance. And then first you need to make sure you have a POS flag. So right now we have negative, non-taxable, non-taxable, and taxable. But I want to add in one that checks for age verification. So I'm going to call this one 21 plus taxable. So I'm going to charge tax for it. I'm going to change this to manual, and then I'm going to choose age 21. I believe it was in 2020, all of the tobacco and alcohol are supposed to be age 21 and up. It used to be 18, 19 in some states for tobacco products, but everyone should be 21 and up now. So I'm going to choose 21. I'm going to save that. And I'm going to come over to my department, and I'm going to go to my cigarettes, and I'm going to change this to 21 and up taxable. I'm going to do the same thing for the cartons and any other departments that would be considered age restricted. You will need to go in and add this new POS flag so that from now on, when you go to ring up an item like that, it will ask for the age verification. So let me change these really quick. Okay. Now, if you were in corporate, you would make these changes and then you would need to send down your queue to your stores. So now when I ring up this item, it asks me for the age. So there's a couple of options here. You can either actually enter in their birthday manually through this screen. You could scan their driver's license, or you can click visually verify. For the purposes of the scan data reporting, manual entry, which is what the flag would be for the new column for age verification, it would show scanned. If you scan the driver's license on the screen, it would show manual entry if you type in the birthday here, or if you click this visually verify button. And then you would just continue on with your sale as normal. All right, so there's a couple of other settings that you can turn on in the POS that can help ensure that your cashiers are checking the IDs as they should be. So one of those is, we're going to go to Actions, Settings. We're going to go to Register Settings. So this first one is Force DL Scan for Age Verify. So this is Force Driver's License Scan for Age Verify. Basically what that will do is it will make it so that whenever you go to scan an age-restricted item, the cashier will have to scan a driver's license in order to move forward with a sale. If they do not scan a driver's license, it will cancel the sale. You can allow an override here, and that checkbox, if you have that in place, it will bring it up so a manager can then answer a couple of questions saying, yes, I've checked that this person is of age, they do not have a driver's license, or they have another form of ID that we can use, such as a military ID or a passport, because as I said before, those are not scannable in the FasTrax POS system. The other option that you can add is you can prioritize the driver's license scan for age verify. What that will do is when you sell an age-restricted item, it will come up on the screen asking for them to scan the ID. but then you can continue. So let me show you how that one works. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to scan, or I'm going to ring up my pack of cigarettes. So this is the screen that you'll get first. As you saw on the previous one, before I had this prioritize turned on, it immediately gave me the option to be able to type in the customer's birth date or to do the visually verify. On this screen, it gives the impression to the cashier that you need to scan the driver's license. But if they don't have one, or they have the alternate form of identification we've already discussed, you can do manual enter. And then from here, since we're doing it this way, the visually verified goes away. So we want them to actually put in a real birth date. So we'll just do 1990. There we go. And then you can continue on with your sale as normal. All right. So if you would like some more information on the age verification types that we have, we've already done another webinar on this topic in the past. Plus, we have regular training documentation available on our website, goftx.com/lifeline. So if you've got any other questions that I may have not addressed in this webinar, we've already done 2 other webinars on the scan data information. There's a very in-depth one from a couple of years ago, I believe, where I directed that one. We went over a lot of the nitty-gritty changes and requirements, especially for the RJ Reynolds side of it. So if you want to go back and watch that one, that's available on our website as well. You can just search for our webinars on GoFTX. You can do this search up here at the top and type in scan. And there's all the ones that are in reference to it. So it's going, this search feature is going to bring up any of our documentation, videos, or previous webinars that may be helpful to you. So that's all that I have for this week. Thank you for joining. Please feel free to reach out to support with any questions you may have regarding today's topic. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you.